Is it possible to pull off a statewide election in less than 3 months? That's the question on everyone's mind as California scrambles to prepare for Governor Gavin Newsom's ambitious plan to hold a special election this November. The issue at the heart of this rush? Redistricting, specifically whether voters will approve Newsom's proposal to redraw California's congressional districts ahead of the 2026 midterm elections. While the governor insists this move is essential to counter Republican efforts to tilt the electoral map in their favor, critics are raising eyebrows over the cost, timing, and feasibility of such an endeavor. And here's where it gets controversial. Should counties be forced to shoulder the financial burden for what some see as a politically motivated maneuver? On paper, calling a statewide special election might seem straightforward. However, when you factor in the logistical challenges of organizing one with fewer than 75 days' notice, the task becomes monumental. County election officials across the state are already working overtime to ensure everything from ballot printing to polling place staffing is ready by November 4th. But the pressure is immense. As Juan Pablo Cervantes, Humboldt County's Registrar of Voters, put it, even under normal circumstances, preparing for a statewide election requires a Herculean effort. With just over 2 months to get things done, the stakes couldn't be higher. So, what exactly does it take to prepare for an election on this tight timeline? One of the biggest hurdles counties face is securing vendors to print enough ballots. In California, only 7 vendors are certified by the Secretary of State to handle this critical task, meaning competition is fierce. Counties must also account for absentee ballots, one for every registered voter, and ensure there are enough physical ballots available at polling stations. Orange County Registrar Bob Page has taken preemptive action, ordering supplies like ballot paper, envelopes, and printer toner without waiting for final confirmation of the election. If the governor abandons his plan later, these materials can still be repurposed for next year's primary, minimizing waste. But the challenges don't stop there. Counties must also secure suitable locations to serve as vote centers and hire and train staff to run them. To address the staffing shortage, Orange County began reaching out to individuals with prior election experience to gauge interest in helping during the special election. These steps highlight the sheer scale of preparation required, especially for rural counties with limited resources. California isn't unfamiliar with last-minute statewide elections. In September 2021, the state successfully held a recall election targeting Governor Newsom. However, that event came with ample warning, thanks to the signature-gathering process that triggered it. This time around, counties have far less lead time, leaving many scrambling to adapt. During the recall, county registrars were able to push back against legislative attempts to move the election date forward, citing supply chain issues with ballot paper stock. Ultimately, the election took place on September 14th, giving counties enough breathing room to prepare. Now, the focus shifts to the financial implications. How much will this unplanned special election cost taxpayers? Estimates vary, but experts agree it will likely exceed the $200 million spent on the 2021 recall election. Assembly Republicans, for instance, project the total cost could reach $235.5 million. Individual counties are bracing for significant expenses too. Orange County anticipates spending between $11.2 million and $12.7 million, while Riverside County expects costs to climb above $15 million. Smaller counties like Fresno and Humboldt aren't spared either, with estimated price tags of $4 million and $700,000 respectively. The financial strain on counties cannot be overstated. Unlike the state, which has access to broader revenue streams, counties rely on the same budgets to fund law enforcement, social services, and wildfire prevention programs. According to Cervantes, diverting funds to cover election costs means making tough choices elsewhere. "You're talking about taking deputies off the street," he explained. "You're talking about reducing social services. It's a zero-sum game." Despite these concerns, Governor Newsom has repeatedly vowed that the state will cover all associated costs. H.D. Palmer, a spokesperson for the Department of Finance, confirmed that legislation is in the works to provide counties with upfront funding, similar to what happened before the recall election. However, details remain murky, and county officials are skeptical. They argue that without immediate reimbursement, they'll struggle to meet vendor payment deadlines, potentially jeopardizing the entire operation. Newsom defends his decision by emphasizing the importance of democracy, stating there's no price tag for democracy. He also points out that several counties are already planning local elections in November, suggesting the redistricting question can simply be added to existing ballots. But this argument overlooks the unique demands of a statewide special election, particularly one called on such short notice. As the debate unfolds, one thing is clear. This situation raises important questions about the balance between political priorities and practical realities. Is it fair to ask counties to stretch their budgets to the breaking point for a single issue, however significant? And should the state bear full responsibility for funding unexpected elections, or do counties share some of the accountability? We'd love to hear your thoughts. Do you think Newsom's plan is justified, or does it go too far? Share your opinions in the comments below.